She's got this entire agenda. So once she jumps in, I'm just going to let her take over. Yasmine, she's here! Yasmine, epic training today. Things you're going to talk about. 3 reasons you love Google Ads. 3 criteria for a business to use Google Ads. 3 hacks to implement that you won't find in textbooks. And then 3 best practices to simplify your life and get great results.
For example, in campaigns where leads contact a business through submitting a form, it relies heavily on the client calling back as soon as possible. And there are stats that say that past 4 minutes, there are 80% less chances for a conversion to happen. And oh my goodness, these guys were taking a day or 2. One of the reasons Google worked so much better is because we were generating phone calls. So they did not need to be proactive. They just needed to pick up the phone. And phone calls are recordable. You can listen to what your campaign is doing in the bottom line.
Dashboard, or that's a separate thing?
Yeah, okay. You use a third-party tool. We add this in our campaigns because we find it necessary to really do a good job. It gets us to find out 2 things. The first one is that the campaign needs more fine-tuning in the back end. And the second one is you tell your clients that they need some training for their front office staff when they answer the calls. And these guys are, when you think about it, they're not salespeople. We get to have those conversations. We get to have our benchmarks. We get to know what's the lead quality without having to rely on the subjectivity of the client. Reason number 2, they bring warmer leads. That means that this person who's searching for their service, they're ready. They don't need brand awareness and exposure and even offers and promotions and things that, business owners really dislike. It's something that they feel that cheapens their brand. In Google Ads, you don't need to do that. And then number 3, this is subjective. They're so much simpler for me than Facebook ads. We can jump to 3 criteria for a business to use Google Ads. So these are actually criteria that should be met in parallel. Number 1, you have to be equipped or be able or wanting to handle phone calls. And number 2, the business that should be not exotic. People know about the service to a point where they would go and look it up online. Okay, so it's contrasting with something that needs brand awareness and needs education. I was going to mention professional cuddlers, and I'm pretty sure now it's becoming a thing. Advertise for this thing in brand awareness channels like Facebook and Instagram rather than Google. But for Google, medical practices, roofing, hurricane-proof windows, people will look for these things on Google. Third criteria is that you're either kickstarting your business, basically, and you want those clients to come in quickly, or you want to supplement another advertising channel like Facebook and Instagram ads.
Follow them from Google to your website to Facebook, using all of these things in conjunction.
This gives the impression, even for small players with small budget, to look like you're in front of your audience everywhere. You're pervasive. It does give a nice impression. Indeed.
I love how prepared you are.
Dude, like I said, you better be over-prepared. This is the first time. This is Erin's most favorite part. We're getting to the 3 hacks that you won't find in textbooks.
Hack it up.
Number 1, put a number in your ad copy. It's heavily textual, right? And the number is eye-catchy. Examples of numbers that you could put in there are minimum hourly fees, starting price, mileage included. When not to put a number. When, for example, your prices are clearly higher than your competition. Hack number 2, online advertising algorithms are auction algorithms, or they're auctions online. On Google, there's fancy bidding strategies that can be daunting. There's manual, there's maximize clicks, maximize conversions, target CPA, and you actually just need one to go by really, really well. And it's manual. In order to know how much you should bid, there's a really nice way, and it's to go to Google Keywords Planner. And then you can play, increase the bidding, decrease it, and see if it gets you more results, if it gets you a cheaper campaign. So number 3, Google's gonna be really mad at me for this one. When you start Google Ads account, start a campaign, you will get approached by a Google rep to help you out. How nice. To optimize your campaign. Hack number 3, never, under no circumstances, should you ever take them up on their offer. First-hand experience and the experience of our clients, it has always been not only a letdown, they crushed those campaigns. They don't know your customer avatar. For example, we serve heavily the home care industry, and you get a lot of calls from caregivers as well. It took us a while to fine-tune, to reduce those phone calls for those who don't need them. Some of those clients actually want them. And these guys, they don't know. They don't know that. Also, they will want you to spend more instead of convert more.
as long as your website is mobile friendly, phone calls enabled as hyperlinks,
Absolutely.
Google ads are going to bring traffic to your website. Your website needs to be ready to handle that mobile traffic.
And Marco touched on one of the aspects. So not only mobile friendly, it needs to load fast. So there are studies that show that past 7 seconds, you're losing 33% of your viewers. Go on Page Speed Insights, punch in your URL, see what the speed is there, and it will give you optimization opportunities.
Yep.
Other best practices on Google: maximize your ads real estate. And then you could add things like a call extension. So this is so people can click a button and call you directly. And actually half of the phone calls that we generate come from within the ad itself. Second one, do not send people to your website.
Woo. That seems very ironic.
Websites are not typically designed by conversion-oriented copywriters like the superstar that we have right here. His name is Tyler Opsel, by the way. You know Tyler. A landing page is a concentrate. It's a reduced website where you don't go around all the information that you need to know in the right order to persuade you that this is the place you need to be, that this is the service provider that you want to trust and that you want to give a chance to, and with one very clear call to action. We put a separate phone number on that page so that we know which of those leads that we're generating are coming from the Google ads versus other channels.
There was another sales coach that I talked to, and it was like this emotional journey where you bring them up to a high and then you bring them right down to a low, but then you solve their problem again with a high. And then at the end, you kind of just, here's the solution to your problem. It's all wrapped up in this nice little present. All you need to do is click.
There's one super important optimization practice that you need to have in place. Set yourself up with a schedule every other day or 3 times a week. Competitor names. Let's say you're in an industry where the cost per click is $5. And let's say you're running a campaign with a $50 a day kind of budget. You will be catching in your end around 2 competitor names a day. If you don't blacklist that stuff properly, that's $10. That's 20% of your $50 budget and 20% of your monthly budget. That's a lot. You can actually even pre-optimize your campaign by going to Yellow Pages or even Google Maps, listing all the competitor names, taking that list and punching it in the negative keywords of your campaign. And there you have a pre-optimized campaign. And so every other day, you still need to do that. Even if you captured a lot, we have a script. You know, we're computer scientists. I work also with Julian Burdella, who's a geek. He's like geeking out on scripts all day long and programming. We get that stuff. We crawl them automatically. We sometimes have thousands of these competitor names, and yet we go in there and we still find people type in other underground competitor names. But still, it's a really good idea to go in there and save your budget.
Thank you, Yasmine. Love it. I'm so glad to hear this was great. And I'm so excited because I know it's going to be super beneficial and valuable to the members of the group. Yasmine, I appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Yasmine, you are a doll. Appreciate you guys.
Bye.
Bye.